Alright, so the Black Banquet is here, and I'm a little late on making a video about it, but everyone is still talking about it, so I'm going to talk about it, especially since it released while I was having to juggle a bunch of things and go to work and all that, so... Not able to actually put out a video on it, but I have plenty of experience in it now, and now that I've actually, played it for a while, waited for people to actually figure out how to play it, how to abuse it, how to try to work around it as killer, try, all that stuff. It'll make me talking about it even better. Again, this isn't scripted, I'm just loading this up and I have this stuff pulled up for you guys as well. So, my thoughts on the Black Banquet so far. Overarching TLDR feeling about it, it is a failure of an event. It is a failure of an event, and it is an absolute miserable time, and Behavior did a great job at bringing all the hype we had from Jason being released all the way back down to the base level that everyone was feeling before Jason was teased or even released. So, if you guys are feeling absolutely miserable about the state of the game, like you're, not being listened to, like you don't matter to these devs, like nothing you say or do is getting across, or that you're struggling and failing to even play the game, don't worry. You're perfectly valid in that. Because Behavior, as I've said before, are absolutely brain-dead developers. And I will stand on that. And they really, really are, and they keep on proving it. So, let's take a look at what's going on here. As you guys may know by now, you have 2-course meals in a trial, the main course and the dessert phase. These are 2 different phases. So the main course is the first 4 gens or first 3 survivors alive. And then the dessert is either the last generator and end game or 1 survivor alive. So that changes the gameplay. And then they have different skins and all that. The gameplay, I'm gonna shorthand all of these for you guys. So, start of the trial, menu of the day, which is today's menu. I think it's for the whole day. It might be per trial. I don't actually know, but if it's a day, you can choose what days you don't want to play because some of these are absolutely garbage. And by that, I mean they're way too overpowered. All 3 of them are really strong. Big name creators will say like the weakest one is the invisibility one. Well, actually, nah. But anyways, the start of the trial, you get those effects. You'll know the global effect, you can see. You get minor effects when you eat the morsels, which... And then the temporary payoff effect. Oh yeah, so temporary. That assemble 4 morsels at a banquet table. You can preset tables to have 3 morsels and then add the 4th when you need it. The thing is, when you fill a table, everybody heals a health state. Even if you're down, if you're injured, any of it. You heal a health state. That's why... Not Blight. The pukey one. That's why she's so strong right now. Is because... And I'm going to touch into this later. But she's strong because of her power. Survivor objective is not to actually do this. It's to just do gens as normal. With crazy amounts of extra buffs. And the killer objective is literally the exact same thing. Except you're trying to damage gens even less. Your objective, screw all of it. Like, literally screw everything that says on here. Survivor objective, 1 person play the table in a swift, while the rest of you do gens as normal with morsels ready. And then the killer objective is literally hunt down survivor, kill survivor. Ignore all of this. And then the dessert phase is literally survivors. Just go to the exit gates, make sure you have a morsel before you pop the last, or before you pop the second to last gen, since the dessert phase starts when there are 2 gen, or when there's 1 gen left. And then just complete the generator, which you're probably going to do anyways. And then, yeah, see when there are 4 generators complete or 1 survivor remains. And then poison, morsels and poison are no longer available to collect. So survivors still can just hold on to their strong thing. Killers lose the poison, can't use it anymore, don't keep the amount that they have already that they can throw and then not regenerate it. So you're just doing normal chases, but, and this happens in the normal game, but survivors still get absurd protections. Oh, but using the dining cart or the banquet table will give you one of the random effects of haste boost, elusive or undetectable, and endurance or blindness immunity. Because these are absolutely equivalent across the board. Haste barely does anything for the short time it's up. I think it's a 3% haste. Elusive is crazy strong because no scratch marks, any of that. You don't even have to run faster. You can just run across the map and not care because no scratch marks and no noises or anything. But, you know, having undetectable, yeah, that can get people across around the corner and all that, but chances are people are going to have information on you, or they repair the generators before you even are able to use any of the undetectable. And then endurance or blindness immunity, like, cool, you get invulnerability for an extended period compared to flashlights that you're not going to have to worry about mid-chase, but these guys get it mid-chase. So this basically unlocks it so that by the time the killer actually gets to you, they don't even have the blindness immunity anymore. Great job, behavior. I love it. It's fantastic. Makes perfect sense. But overall game mode, it's even worse. It is even worse. Because as per usual, there are perks you can abuse as survivor to not care about killer. I've had three types of games in this. I've had the games where I lock in on the survivors and I get a 4K purely because I'm spamming the toxin as trickster so I can end chase early. I'm spamming the toxin. I'm hunting down the one person, which doesn't always work because there have been infinite runs. I'll get into that later too. The second option is you just flat out lose because you can have a 2-man swift, you can have a 4-man swift, you can have a 3-man swift, doesn't even matter. You get crazy, as per usual, you get crazy communication with a teammate and it just ruins the entire mode. Because you can tell one person, all right, I'm getting into chase, get ready at the table. Oh, I was hit, pop the table, start getting ready on the next table, and just keep going. Or 3, I either tie the game or lose by slugging one person, standing on that person. Do not move off of them. Do not pick them up. Do not hook them. Do not interact with them at all. Let them bleed out all the way and either take advantage of the people trying to save that one survivor and down them, or after the bleed out timer, go after the next person, do the same thing. So it's either a tie at 2 kills, or I get a 4K because people swarm me like flies to save the one person. Literally did that on Night on one of the Eyrie of Crows maps. Felt miserable. Didn't feel fun. But that's one of the methods to win if you're looking to win. Otherwise, it's completely unplayable. Because I also had a match where, in that first instance, where all I'm doing is using my poison to try to chase people down, I was chasing one survivor. They were running around a large rock. They were fast enough where, again, as Trickster, because 4.4 is cool on Trickster, I couldn't use my ability. I couldn't throw knives to try to get any status down on them. So they were running around a rock. They had a morsel in their hand. It was the haste boost one, of course. And as soon as I got close to them, well, they popped the speed boost. Yeah, they started out with the sprint burst, and then they popped the morsel mid chase. And that burned. They're right next to that was a tile of the 2 pallets right next to each other with rocks between them all. So 3 rocks, 2 pallets between the 3 rocks. So they looped around those 2, which are really strong against Trickster, because the rocks happen to be taller than the usual shorter half walls. It's a 50-50. So they abuse that, they get 2 gens done, and I decide, well, I'm going to drop chase. I go around, can't find anyone. The person I was just chasing, however, stays within my view shot, constantly baiting me into chases. So I go after them again after so long because it's like, okay, I have to make some kind of progress. I'm just going to lock down on one person. Chase me down through another generator. Use their thing. I hit them. They get instantly healed. Get the speed boost. Enough time, by the way, between my wiping my weapon animation and running off to stop at another cart to get another morsel. And the fourth generator pops. I haven't gotten a single hook state. The one time I get any damage off, it gets undone completely. So tell me how as killer, I'm able to play the game like that. 4 gens. And a health state that immediately gets taken away from me. That is why I call behavior brain dead. That is why I say your design is awful. You are terrible game developers. You don't understand how to make the game. And it doesn't have to be fair for everyone. It doesn't even necessarily have to be balanced for everyone, because that is bullshit. To the furthest extent, where I cannot even play the game. I was literally better off walking to the exit gate. Tell me where that's fair for killer. At all. Well, don't play the event. Here's another big thing about that, too. And I've talked about this before. I've mentioned this in a Discord server. People were saying just don't play the event. It was basically day of. Let me tell you this. And this goes for everyone who wants to play the event, and the immediate response is, well, just don't play the game. I want to be able to play the game. Why should I be excluded? Because behavior doesn't know how to develop a game. Because behavior doesn't know how to playtest their own game. Why should I have to give up my fun for everyone else? Because the developers don't know how to make a game. And this is like I keep saying for a lot of the changes that they try to make. I was saying this for when they were doing the anti-slug, anti-tunnel. Or the anti-camp, whatever it was. You know, that lasted 2 PTBs. I was saying this then. I say it over and over and over and over again. These developers don't play their game. They don't know how to make a game. They don't deserve to be working on this game. And most importantly, why should I not be upset about them wasting so much time and so many resources over and over and over again, wasting their time doing these stupid things that they would know is wrong and absurd and unplayable if they even touched their own game? Why do they keep wasting time instead of actually developing the game? Look at the changes they said at the 1 year, at the big stream they had, the big video they had, where we're getting Overwatch 2, Dead by Daylight Edition. They're upgrading the graphics, they're adding weather, they're doing all this different stuff. How much is that going to actually impact the game? How much is that going to impact the game pro Survivor? They don't think. And here's the thing. A lot of it caters to survivors who just want their hands held. And I stand on that. And I'm not saying all survivors, but there is a huge influx of people who will kick and scream and shout and piss and moan to the high heavens the second something doesn't go their way. That is something so incredibly stupid. Jason is a prime example. That's the newest example we have. Everybody complaining about him being able to see that red cloud when you're standing in a locker. Guess what? Don't stand in a locker when he is using his ability. It is not that hard. Behavior should not have to remove one of the few information gatherings he has to accommodate for you not learning the killer, you not learning how to play the game better. Because it's not just handed to you through a perk. Are there some things that I agree should negate his ability to see, like, your footsteps and stuff? Sure. Elusive, by all means, by its definition, should technically allow you to just stand still. But it doesn't work that way. So instead, you adapt. You continue to crouch walk and move around. Or you have one person bait him out while the others work on a generator safely. You chase him out around mid and tall walls because that's where he suffers, through many walls and jungle gyms like every other ranged killer with 4.4 move speed. Because guess what? Somebody right here mains 4.4 move speed ranged killers because that's all they fucking are. Thanks, behavior with Trickster. I think another huge issue I have with this too, and this goes across the entire Dead by Daylight board, and I wish people would stop, especially big name creators, because they marginalize and minimalize the shit we go through now. Stop bringing up past events, the past gameplay, past everything. I care about now. What are they doing now? It doesn't matter if a different game mode was just as bad or worse. That should be a learning lesson for behavior and not them putting light band-aids on things people have complained about before, or not even changing things. I made a whole video about that, mostly because Otz was saying that the game wasn't that bad. People are going to take that as, well, I feel like the game is in a terrible spot, but Mr. Big Name is going to say that it's perfectly fine, it's fantastic, because he's being paid off by behavior. Sorry, I'm going to name drop this time, because that was just one example. I can go through others. You know, everyone's screaming about, oh, Hens made Jason so unbearable with the current controversy of how strong his build is. No, because that's the same thing as people on Twitter or TikTok finding builds and then they use it for a little bit, but they're not actually as good as the game as these guys, so they don't actually know the fundamentals. So when they try it and it doesn't work, they're kicking and screaming or disconnecting the second they get hit one time because, oh, and yeah, I complain a lot for the killer, but I back up what I say with what actually happens in a match. You know, I've been making use of the perk that everyone says was god-awful for Jason, the one where you get haste after breaking so many walls and pallets. I've gotten at least a little bit of value out of it. I've won chases because of it, with 4% haste, with 3% haste. Especially on Onryo, because I can bait as many pallets as I want. When you're demanifested, they don't affect you. So I can just make survivors drop pallets, break the pallets, build up as many tokens as I want, and then I choose when I just demanifest, oh, you dropped a pallet on me with my current build? Well, I have endurance, so when you drop on me, I recover so fast, and then I have perks for breaking the pallets faster. So I use that little bit of time during the haste boost to make a direct path to you, or I could just ignore the pallet completely, start chasing you with a lot of haste, and I catch up faster than you think. Even if I hit you, I still get enough time to catch back up. And another huge thing with this event, which I mentioned before that I'm going to mention now, it heavily depends on the killer. Because just like the base game, the best killers don't care about your gameplay. You wanna know why Blight's so strong in the base game? Because he doesn't care about your stupid haste runaway. He doesn't care about your stupid sprint burst. You whine and moan about that. Nurse doesn't care that you run tight loops with absurd speed and the ability to drop a pallet, play that pallet on that small loop, and then lie the way as soon as they try to hit you. Just teleport through the wall and hit you before you even have a chance. Wah. Kaneki keeps up with people, and he puts on health states. That's why you have a problem with him. He's not even that strong, realistically, because of animation lock. But you internalize that he can move faster than you because he negates sprint burst and lithe and all that crap because he's able to fly across the map, and the health state that he deals on you while you still manage to win in loops. But Kaneki's such a huge problem. It's everything and anything without putting any actual thought to it. Yeah, you can have bad times with matches with people. You can not like characters. You can not like how they perform and not like their kit. But as soon as you DC the second you see them, or you just mindlessly say that they're so crazy busted that they need nerfs, that you start begging, behaving, getting your hunting squad to bully behavior into nerfing things, and they listen to you because, oh, we have to filter our opinions. We have to filter the feedback and take the good feedback. Yeah, the good feedback is, wah, my heals don't work because there's a single killer in the game who just pukes on you and says, no, you can't heal. Got to nerf her into the ground because I want to be able to play every single game like I'm going against a 4.4 trapper with no traps. That's what people want. They want to feel in control. They want to feel like they have power. They don't actually want to play the game. That's what the Black Banquet is. Garbage. On top of that, when you actually try to care about getting blood points at all, even me, I'm not a guy who collects. I don't care to collect, right? I really don't. Like, can't use these because whatever fucking reason, but I would have been using them. I don't have a bunch of them because I kept using them. You know, I don't have a lot of anything else in here. Actually, I finally burned through all of his cakes. If I even had any. But look, I have 3 toothy torts. Let's see. I'll humor you guys. Actually, who am I leveling up right now? I'm trying to P3 all the killers so I get all their perks. Let's go Mr. Castlevania here. Oh, there's a toothy tort. Out of 270,000, let's just round blood points. Oh, yeah, there's nothing in here. Wow, that's absurd. Hey, look here. Oh, there's one. Maybe they actually fixed it by the time I made this video. Instead of saying that they would fix it. Oh, no, wow, look at that. Wow. There are nothing in here. There should be one every blood web. There's one. You have to manually click it, so you have to go through this garbage, even though they added the spend blood points to make it easier on you. Oh, well, there goes that. This was from many matches of me saving. By many, I say like maybe 4 or 5. Maybe they actually changed it. Before, they were not showing up this much. There were predetermined levels. Holy crap, did they actually change it? Before, there were predetermined levels where you could get them. You barely got any on this guy. Oh, look at this. They are showing up every now. Oh, so I rescind my comment from earlier. And now we're back to not having any. Oh, there's one. But I guarantee you, if you auto level, you're not getting any. So now I've got 28 total on him. I rescind my earlier comment, though. They might have actually fixed it. Or that could have just been luck on me leveling up Mr. Castlevania. But you can't auto-spend to make it easier. No, no, no. You need to waste time in lobbies. You need to waste time in the Bloodweb menu to make sure you are manually getting every single pie. Or else it'll do its automatic thing where it just goes off in whatever direction that it wants, and it doesn't even matter. Like, say there was one right here, and I auto went through, well, it's going to prioritize going to a perk. Let's say this is a perk, so it's going to go up here, and then, oh, there's another perk, like, down over here, so it'll start going that way. But then that'll get blocked off, but it already spent here, so now it'll try to go over here. Oh, but this gets blocked off, and this is where the cake was, because it prioritizes other stuff, so it'll just go for other stuff, and I'll just never see a cake, because it's spending blood points. Ha ha ha, it doesn't prioritize its anniversary things. You should just get a pie. Here's another big thing about the anniversary, and a lot of bugs and everything, all these issues that happen, and the new survivors perks, the elusive perk where they leave the light beams behind is a perfect example of this. One of the other biggest things I have as an issue with behavior, which a lot of people will probably feel, is they don't actually update their game. They don't actually care to push update. I've been saying for a few days now they need to actually do hot fixes and not just major updates to everything. Because a lot of the issues they end up having are just, they're foundational. They're fundamental. Like, you've had this for so long. How could you fuck this up when you've had it for so long? You know, we were getting Bluetooth pallets, which I'm sure are still happening. The pallets have been in the game forever. The spawn rates of the toothy torts in the blood web, or back when they were busted, because it seems like they're fixed. But, you know, yesterday, a few days ago, what have you, before the weekend started, whenever it was, when people were mentioning it, bringing it up, why was it so hard to get them? Because behavior intentionally made it that way. Otherwise, you copy and paste from the last event, you tweak up the names. It's super easy. It's foundational, fundamental. You've had this for so long. How are you fucking it up? Because you choose to. They're choosing to mistreat and punch down the players of their own game. It's actually insane. And I don't believe for a second that it's a coding matter of like, oh, well, you fix one thing and it breaks something else. I don't believe that for a second. Because if you're paying any attention to your game, if you're actually playtesting it in-house, no, not the PTB. If you're going to keep using that as an excuse, have a 24/7 PTB and add things to the PTB, hotfix things into the PTB, and then release them as it goes. Don't have this stupid PTB only ever anytime there's major content out. If you're going to have other people test your game because you're fucking lazy and don't want to pay worth shit because you're trying to become a publisher, no. Test your own games. You are a developer. That comes with the developing process. Don't rely on everything and on everyone else. Well, the T stands for testing in PTB. You know what develop means in game developer? That comes as part of the process. Sorry to hurt your feelings. That's part of the territory. Maybe you should sell off the property if you won't acknowledge being proper developers. Maybe you shouldn't have control of your game. Please, behavior. Become a publisher of your own game. Give this game to someone else who will actually give a damn and actually treat it properly. Start doing hot fixes instead of full patches. Like, extend out the version number. Make it 9.4, 0.0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. And then 9.4.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Do hotfixes. Add things to the game. Change things in the game as the game is live. You are a live service game. Add things to the game as it goes. Do minor tweaks. Commit people to doing it. Unless your development studio is literally the only people we ever see on stream, where you are such a tiny fucking company, like you are a speck of dirt, you shouldn't be allowing this to happen. They probably aren't. If they are, people really need to look into where they're getting their money and where it's going. Jesus, man. It's pathetic. This whole event is pathetic. You guys, let me know how you guys have felt during the event, too, because I know a lot of people don't actually speak up about the issues in the event. Well, a lot of people are this time around, but a lot of things behavior does, people don't actually speak up about, and behavior are pathetic developers, and I will continue to insist on that until they actually change something, because so far, they continue to drive this game into the dirt.